Welcome here again to Dix Hills alongside former St. John's guard Sky Lindsay. I'm Ralph Bednarchik. Today it's also Coaches versus Cancer Awareness Day here. Every Suffolk County school across Long Island has been celebrating this. Today is the day Hills West is raising money to try to defeat that terrible disease. Sky, on the basketball court, these two teams have already met in early January. It was a thrilling game as both teams are looking to get hot into the playoffs.
That's right. They met earlier this month, and man, was it a hard-fought battle to the very end. And Hills West pulled it through by only 1 point. But Coach McGuire said she went back, watched the game film, and she's coming into this game more prepared and with a new and improved game plan. And you know, Ralph, it's always fun watching two teams come back and match up for a second time around after having such an intense first meeting.
And for West Babylon, it truly is.
Alongside former St. John standout Sky Lindsay. Sky, it comes down to this. It's the last game of the regular season. Both these teams, terrific seasons throughout. But why is this game so pivotal today?
And you know, Scott, Smithtown won their last 3 games in a row. They've been playing their best ball at the right time, as well as Huntington winning their last 4 or 5 games. Both squads may have a guaranteed spot in the playoffs, but today's win is really to improve their seeding in the playoffs and hopefully get a first-round game on their home floor. And for Huntington, what'll make it even more special is a win on Senior Day.
Well, see.
Bogish, happy to have you with us here for this one. It's a regular season rematch, a non-league game just a few weeks ago, so these two teams know what to expect tonight, Sky.
Yeah, Andrew, both teams met earlier this month, and it went down to the very end with MacArthur pulling it through and taking home the win. But as you can imagine, that game is still very fresh in Syosset's mind, and they're coming back today for revenge. And what better day than to have the big comeback than in the quarterfinals playoff round? Both teams like a fast-paced, up-tempo game, so we're going to have a very chaotic but emotional game on our hands today.
And one of the things that...
Hey everyone, I'm Stephen Assis, along with Sky Lindsay. We have an interesting matchup in store for us today, Sky. It's youth on display.
Absolutely, Steve. And Coach Bertel knows he has a young Dobbs Ferry squad this season with not one senior on his team, but he has a talented group of girls, and on any given day, he has multiple players that are capable of being the highest scorer. Well, for Pleasantville, lack of experience in senior leadership is not an issue they have. They're going to be looking to exploit Dobbsville's lack of experience in youth today.
Hello, everyone. I'm Stephen Assis, along with Sky Lindsay. Sky, this Somers team is really something amazing, and it's going to be a great game today.
That's right. There's just something special about Somers High School in this group. They know what it takes to win. After winning the state championship in football, that confidence has definitely transferred over onto the basketball court. They're an experienced group, and they all know their role. But for Brewster, they've kind of had to start from scratch, graduating their entire starting squad. They're a young group, but they've proven they're not afraid to fight and really dig deep in their passionate group as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stephen Assis, along with Sky Lindsay. Sky, we have a very exciting matchup in store for our viewers.
Yeah, you know, Lakeland, they had to work really hard to get to the point where they are today, halfway through the season. And that's because they know each other well and just good old-fashioned determination. And while Peekskill, they've had a bit of a revolving door as far as coaches. And with their new head coach, James Robinson, leading the way, you know, he's won 2 national JUCO titles at Monroe College. With it being halfway through the season, he expects his girls to really understand his style of play and get things going into the second half.
So let's take a look at the key players for today's matchup. We'll start with Peekskill, and it's Maya Smith.
And the coach spoke so highly about her before the game. She's only a sophomore. She's their shooting guard, and she's averaging about 10 points a game for her team. She's truly been out to showcase her talent this season.
And for Lakeland, it's the senior, Colleen Walsh.
And you know, we may be playing basketball today, but she was the Section 1 Player of the Year in softball with more than 500 strikeouts, Steve. She'll be heading to play softball at Sacred Heart University next year, but the 5'9" senior also has proven herself on the hardwood because she's been their leading scorer and rebounder last year and this year.
Hello and welcome here to the Pratt Center alongside former St. John's and Christ the King guard Sky Lindsay. I'm Ralph Bednarchik. For the Baldwin Bruins, they're 3-time defending county champs, but they're a team team on a mission, Sky. They've lost the last 2 Long Island Championship games to Comac. They're taking on a Freeport team that has their hands full.
Yeah, Baldwin, they've blown out most of their competition this season. They're undefeated in league play, and they breezed through their quarterfinals win versus East Meadow. But Freeport, they had a bit of a more difficult time making it to today's game, but they beat Port Washington by 5 points, proving they have the stamina and the talent to make it through difficult games. We're going to have to do that once again today and play their best game of the year right now.
Freeport has optimism because they have a tremendous point guard. The 3-year starter at the position, Maya Thomas, leads them.
And she had 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists, and an impressive 6 for 6 from the foul line in their last minute and 30 seconds of that tight quarterfinals win versus Port Washington. Talk about being a clutch player. The senior point guard has been an all-county and all-conference selection and has truly stepped up her game this season.
And meanwhile, for the Baldwin Bruins, they're known for their relentless defensive pressure, best personified perhaps by junior guard Jenna Anacarico.
The 5'5" junior guard is a 5-year varsity player and is ranked top 10 in her class on Long Island. She's a physical and tough-nosed player that always plays extremely hard. She scored 15 points, knocking down 3 threes in their quarterfinal win, and already has about 10 Division I college offers on her plate, Ralph. Wow, what a game. You get 28 points. You're the state's leading scorer, yet you're still known to have great work ethic and you're in the gym 6 days a week. What motivates you to keep working as hard as you do? What a game you had. So you had 5 points in the first half, but came up big in the second, ending with 15 points. What did you do differently between the first half and the second for your team? And what a fun game that was. You guys were down by 4 points in the first half. It really came out strong. What did you guys do to adjust to really take back the lead and win the game?
We came out in a zone here, and Coach made the adjustment of going to a triangle and 2, and they were caught off guard a little bit. And then when they called the timeout and finally realized what we were doing, we went to press man, and we put a lot of pressure on them, and I think that's why we won this game.
And you got in a bit of foul trouble, had 4 fouls in that third quarter, kind of set out most of the third quarter. But how were you able to come back in, finish the game strong, and be aggressive without fouling out? Thanks, Steve. So it was a great game. The first time your school won 2 years in a row, the Sullivan Classic. A lot of people came out to support, fans, students, parents. How much fun is it playing in front of a large crowd like today?
Oh, it's always real fun. The energy level is always high, and it's a tough game between both of the teams. We both exert ourselves throughout every single game this year, this time of year. Both of us know each other really well, both teams, so it's always fun to play, and the crowd is just icing on the cake for that.
Definitely. And so your coach called you a stat sheet filler. You really contribute in so many different areas on the floor. How important is it to be that person, that guy your team could depend on to really help out in every area? Fantastic game you had today, and you're only a freshman. Unbelievable. It was a close game down to the very end, but you had 2 big plays within that last 2 minutes to really get your team the lead. And talk about what was going through your head when you had the ball both possessions. Bauer, the 6-foot freshman, she's been amazing to watch. Right there, catching and shooting right over Maurer. She had a total of 10 points. She's really been dominating in the post area, as well as stepping out, showing us her perimeter range. For Sayasset, they have been doing a good job staying in this game. They don't care that they lost the first 2 matches, and right there, that's 7 points for Halper in the 5'8" freshman. She hit 2 threes. That was her second for the game. And Maurer, we all know about her. The forward, she does a lot of guard plays as well. Right there, a tough catch amongst 2 Massapequa researchers, still able to finish. And also showing us her perimeter range, knocking down a nice shot in the corner, right in front of Massapequa's bench. And what a first half it was. And Central Islip, the home team, really came out to play. Fuentes showing us his crafty move right there. A nice up and under going down to paint for that layup. And knocking down a 3-pointer right in front of this Copaig's defender right there. And right there, we thought he was going for a layup himself, but decided to switch things up and do a nice fancy behind the back pass that finished the layup. He had 9 points. But then for Copaig, their point guard, Destine, the senior, tried to get to the basket every time he had the chance, and right there he had 9 points, and he's done a great job really keeping his team in this game by by any means necessary. But Beckles, we talked so much about his scoring ability, because man, can he score. He had 18 points, but have to love the fact that he keeps his head up, he plays team basketball, he has 4 assists. He does a great job finding his teammates down low and getting them easy buckets as well.
Look at the...
It's been an exciting first half so far, Steve. Pleasantville, it's been all Scapettos, no surprise. Their star player, 1 for 1 from the three-point line with a total of 15 points and 6 rebounds, just doing everything. Right there, driving to the basket strong, and here, showing her post-up moves, using her body, getting to the basket. She's just been trying all she can do to keep her team in that game. But Dobbs Ferry, they have the lead because they have an 8th grader, Halverson, that's been killing them behind the arc. She's 2 for 2 from the three-point line with 10 points right here, showing off a tough step-back three-pointer. But Fanny's also been helping her. She also has 10 points and 5 rebounds. She loves the corner right there, driving to the middle. Nice floater, got it to finish. And then the other end, catching it in the corner, showing her nice soft touch and finishing. 10 points for both her and Halverson. We have had an exciting first half.